Dozen Customs. We're back out here on the Monte Carlo today. Last week we left off getting a couple of things done, but one of the things that we did was we got that stuff to put the gas pedal back in done, and we need to clean this off. I think I had showed in last week's video that I did scrape all the gunk out of this, and normally how I clean stuff like this, just a toothbrush, an old toothbrush and some lacquer thinner, and then we just kind of scrub it up, and then I got some paper towels here that will soak as well and wipe everything down and just make sure it's all cleaned out. I do this with everything I've explained before, like rubber seals, wiring, anything that you need to get cleaned up. I have found that this is the best way. It cleans paint off, it cleans oils and greases off, dust, dirt, you know, all the stuff that you want it to look clean and nice and new. This is how I do it. So you know, it looks like some of this has like overspray on it. Like right here, I'm cleaning off blue overspray. Like where blue overspray came from, I have no idea. You know what? I know where it came from. Original motor that we pulled out of here, I believe, was blue. So, plastic toothbrush, not a metal one, not a scuff pad. You'll scuff everything up and it won't have a nice shine to it. It'll just have a scuffed look to it. So I think that's cleaned up. Looks like new. You know, this part had blue paint all over it, and then this had just oil and grease and gunk, and yeah. Alright, let's grab the gas pedal. Let's drop this on the windshield. Okay. Let's see what we got. What we got over here. Sorry about the crowded area here. Getting close to having this Jeep done, and I know I keep saying that. Hopefully by the end of the year here it'll be gone, and we'll have our room back. Until the next one shows up. Right. Hopefully you guys can see. Hopefully I'm not too much in your way. Okay, so I look to put this on here, and we are just a hair shy, so we'll run a drill through that. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to drill a small hole up here for the springs to go in. I don't remember how. I think they had it hooked up on this hole down here, and we have this bar running down through here. So this bar, so hopefully you guys can pick it up. So the PCV valve that goes into the back here, it used to come up and over here, and we rebent this and made it go underneath this, just for a cleaner look. So with that being like that, I don't know, let's see. There we go. Now we got it figured out. I just don't seem right. So feels like this should be up here. So, and then not only that, but like I feel that that spring is good, but there's nothing that pulls the gas pedal back. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a little research and see what's going on here, what's missing. Like I said, this is more comfortable there. So yeah. Maybe we will we'll be right back. Okay. So, our problem that we're having with the throttle linkage is, for one, it seems like it needs to be up higher. That where this is just, it's too low. So from the research that I'm seeing, what everybody is doing is that they're taking this one and they're using that one. So I think that that's what we'll do. We'll take this one off, we'll get it sandblasted, we'll get it painted, and we'll get him installed on here, and that should bring this up higher. And then as far as hooking up the throttle linkage, so if we go back here where this one is back here, so there's no return spring for this. So if you use this one, see, it don't pull this back. But if you take that off, see, it returns with it without that being on there. So it looks like Holley, they make a piece that goes in here that would move this to here, and you hook it up like that. I've researched several things, and everybody seems to be putting this here. So, and you can see if we put this here, you know, we're pretty good there. So I think if we change this out, and then I order the thing from Holley to put it here, I'm not quite sure what that does, but like I said, it moves together. So I think we're gonna have to order something for here and switch this bracket out. So let's get this bracket off this other motor, and we'll get this cleaned up. and get it painted. Before we do anything as far as getting it painted, let's just test it and see. Okay, well, that's too far back now. Okay, well, I think I fixed the issue of this not moving with that. There's a little bar that sticks up that was on the inside of this over here that made it separate, but since I didn't really bend it, I just kind of moved it so that it was on the other side of that bar. And now everything works like it should. But now, so I still think that this needs to be up higher. So I think what we'll do is we'll put this one back on, and then I'll use this one that we just took off of the other motor, and we will cut it and modify it and weld it . So I did see somebody saying that they made their own, but I'm thinking you know, if we cut this guy off here, and then we cut this off here, and then we take that tab and we weld it up here like this to bring this up higher, you know, or maybe it would have to go this way, but either way to bring it up higher and then weld it. You know, I don't think anybody would ever know. So I think that's what we'll do. I think we'll cut this here, and then we'll cut this off here, just keeping us with like that part right there, and then we'll weld this to that, moving this piece up higher. And like I said, we may have to flip it like this so that it goes this way, so that it lines up more with him there. I think that's what we'll do. But I think we'll be back out here a little bit later to do it. So Monday's been kind of weird. We had the buddy with the Jeep over this morning. And then I've been ordering parts and supplies and stuff like that all morning. So our day's a little goofy. It's not our normal Monday morning because we had other stuff that needed to get done. We're trying to get it all done today so that we could get everything delivered in here before the holiday. So that's why it had to be done today. So Thanksgiving's coming up this week. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be after Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And yeah, so like I said, we'll be back after lunch, and we'll get this throttle linkage thing figured out. You know, this is definitely something that we needed to take care of. I think that we got that part situated. What everybody was doing that I seen, they were sticking a spring. They were sticking a spring on this guy. Down up here, they had a bracket that came up that the spring went from here to here. And I didn't like the looks of it at all. You know, I like the springs being back here all nice and hidden. So yeah, so we'll stick with how we had the spring setup done on it. I think we have that situated. Only other thing that I don't like is this. Yeah, we may take this off. I don't like this thing on here. We'll try and figure something else out. I don't like that there. If it was pulling straight, that would be one thing. We'll have to see where our bracket ends up at. You know, if we can get it to where it's like a straight shot, then I guess that thing's not a big deal. But the way that it's sitting just like that, like, I don't like, it's resting up against there. I'm not a fan of it. So anyways, we'll get this figured out. I know it kind of wasn't, I know we had talked about last week about like getting this gas pedal in and hooked up. And I know that we talked about possibly doing some wiring. I still haven't found the wiring, I haven't looked for it. It's not that I haven't found it, I haven't looked for it. So I don't know, maybe we'll do that later too. We are just like a couple days away from painting this Jeep. So just so that you guys are aware of what's going on around here, there may be a Monday or two here coming up, maybe that we don't put out a Monte Carlo video, just because we're trying to get this Jeep wrapped up. So it's really close. Most of it is painted. We're finishing painting the rest of it, and then we gotta get it all put back together. So yeah, so we'll have to see these next couple of Mondays. We may be playing it by ear and see what happens. We'll still put out a video on Monday, but I don't know, I don't know what it'll be. It might be an extra Jeep video, maybe a tool unboxing or something along those lines. Maybe we'll do a rerun. I don't know, but just so that you guys know, that's what might be going on. So we'll see you guys out here after lunch. What I want to do is I want to try and modify this throttle linkage bracket setup, and get we'll kind of set it in there, and we'll get it tacked in place where I think it'll work, and then we'll weld it up and get it painted, and that'll probably be the end of the video. So let's go ahead and see what we can make work here. So like I said, I think we're gonna cut it off right here, and we're gonna keep this part right here. So let's go ahead and so can always weld this back together if we don't use it and need to put it back together, but I think we'll be good. Okay, so we have this on here. I'm gonna put a couple of decent welds on here so that it holds, but I don't think I'm gonna weld it solid, and we're not gonna paint it yet until I think I need to do a little bit more research on this. So maybe you guys, somebody out there might know a little bit better. So there's this pin here that this goes on, and it gets an E-clip on it. But so there was this little rod that's right here that is part of this whole unit. It was on the other side. It was on the other side of this guy. So it made that guy work separately. You see how he works separately there? So when you would put this on there and you would hit the gas, it wouldn't move this whole thing. It only moved this part. So I put this rod onto the other side of it, so then that way it works all as one unit. You know, I don't know, you know, I don't know a whole lot about Holley. So like I said, most of the stuff that I looked up, what they're doing is Holley actually makes a thing that bolts into this hole right here, and people are hooking it up right there. So, and then nothing gets hooked up here. Now the ones that I did see people hooking up here, what they were doing was they were running a spring from this hole right here down to a bracket that they had up right here, so they had a spring going down like this. I don't want that spring there. So that's why I did it the way that I did it. And see, now everything moves as one. You know, is there a reason why this should stay separate from everything? You know, it moves with it, but as soon as you put the gas pedal on there, it moves separately. So now I have it that it moves everything. I don't know if that's right or wrong, so that's why I'm just going to kind of tack this together at the moment, and I'll have to do some more research, or maybe one of you guys will comment on there saying like, don't do that, and then I'll just order that thing from Holley. So I guess everything else hooks up just fine. But if I get this pin that sticks out of here, then this factory bracket, or I don't know if it's factory, but whatever this black bracket is that we had on there, will work by itself. We don't need this piece on there. So that's why I'm only going to tack it right now and not paint it, because if we end up going the other route, then we don't need what we just did. Okay, now if we end up using that the way that it is, we'll weld it up really nice, and get it welded up, ground down, painted, whatever we need to do to make it look good. But Sounds like it had started raining now. I think so. We got some weather coming. I think it's supposed to rain for the next couple days here, and then it's supposed to turn to snow. We were like 5 minutes from being done, and your memory card decided that it was full. So we had to go in the house and change all that out, and I fed the animals while I was in there. Nope, that didn't work. Fail. So I will have to order that pen. Obviously this, I won't be able to keep this like this. I mean, I guess if we get maybe a little bit longer of a screw here, and then put a like a nylon nut on there. Guess that works, huh? So we might have to shorten this, bring this down a little bit so that it's more of a straight shot. You know, it's kind of coming up and then back down. So if we drop this down so that it's more of a straight shot, hooking it up to here, when I had it here, I had to have reached. I don't know. We'll have to, I think we'll have to revisit this. I mean, at the moment the gas pedal's hooked up. It doesn't feel like I'm getting full throttle out of it, which, you know, I don't know. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I don't know. I mean, the pedal's going to the floor, but it's awfully hard. You know, we are fighting some major springage here. And I'm pushing on it with my hand. Something's not. Like, I have a lot of play. I have a lot of play in the pedal. So yeah, so that should be there. So we would actually have to move this. I think this would have to be flipped around so that it's back here for this to, that's why I'm not feeling that I'm getting enough pedal out of it. So we'll have to revisit this. You know, we'll get it. We just ain't got it yet. And like Hot Rod Bob says, we're getting there. We're just not there yet. Okay. Well, sorry for the short video, and maybe it wasn't too exciting. I apologize about that. You know, we're coming into holiday season here. Like I said before, we're real close to finishing this Jeep. So there might be a couple of days where we're running a rerun or something else, just so we get this Jeep done and out of here. I'm literally just a couple days away from painting it, and then we just got to reassemble it, and most of it's reassembled, and then it's going back home. So over the next few weeks, you know, depending on, you know, if I can get this thing done and get it out of here, and it means that we gotta skip a Monte day, then so be it. But yeah, so we're getting close to getting that finished, and then hopefully I can get some quarter panels and some doors for this thing. We'll see, fingers crossed. And then we'll have something a little more exciting to work on. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed what video we made. Remember to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and happy Thanksgiving. See you guys in the next one. I'm out. Oh.